Difficulty should not be underestimated.
Well, good morning from the 100-mile wilderness and the beginning of my last week on trail. That's fun to say. I mentioned it to a friend of mine yesterday. I said, only a week left. And he's like, that's crazy, man. How does it feel? And I said, well, I'm sick of walking, sick of hurting, sick of being dirty, sick of chafing, sick of bugs, sick of being sweaty, and I'm gonna miss every day of it. And I think that's pretty accurate. Today's gonna be fun. We got 19 miles today. Mostly flat, some climbs at the end, but whatever, it's the last week. 3 river fordings, but from the comments on Far Out, it sounds like 2 of them have been rock hoppable over the last week or so, and it really hasn't rained, so I assume that will remain the case. Other than that, it's just knuckle down and finish strong time. Stayed at Shaw's for a 0. That was a really good time. Cool spot. Poet and Hippie Chick, the owners, thru-hiked years ago, but they know what they're doing. They run that place really well. Had lots of food in town. Had everything I wanted in town. It was just a good last town stop. And then Poet, his half of their hostel is the gear shop, but they also do a food resupply drop-off in the middle of the 100-mile wilderness if you want to pay them a bunch of money for it. I mean, it's $90 for them to drop off a resupply, and that can be split between up to 4 people, which is exactly what we have, so $23 to do 2.5 day food carries rather than a 5-day food carry. Absolutely. Whew. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point, so I'm gonna hop off here and hike some more.
I don't know if I do that again. I don't know about that. It's better just twice again. Yeah. Want to throw me your bag? What? Throw me your bag? Just kind of swing.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot of throw.
Please don't fall.
I feel like it's one big step, maybe 2. Woo!
I think that's the third track.
Well, we crossed all 3 rivers and no one got their feet wet. So far, we've only had to ford 2 all throughout Maine. Not bad. Not sure if I've mentioned it before, but one of the things I will say that I am most grateful for on this hike has been the weather. It has been about perfect for us. There was almost no rain down south when it was cold, and that would have been miserable. And we didn't need it. There were plenty of water sources. Then we got to Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Mass. It rained in all those states, which is good because those are often the ones where it's hard to get water throughout the summer. All the water sources were up and flowing greatly. And now that we've gotten past that, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, it's been dry again. Making the mud in Vermont passable, making the lights, holy cow, doable, and making all the river crossings in Maine easier. Well, we got to celebrate 2,100 miles with a 2,100 foot climb. That was rough. I feel like I haven't climbed like that in like 4 or 5 days. It turns out your legs forget pretty quick. It's often touted that the southern half of the 100-mile wilderness is more rugged, I guess, than the second half. We're trying to push through all the rugged stuff today and tomorrow so that we can spend the last 3 days kind of relaxing and strolling into Baxter. So today has been rough. There's a mile left. And then, actually there's less than a mile. We got like a half mile left. And then I'm gonna relax, get up early, grind out 23 very difficult miles tomorrow. I say very difficult as in relative to what I've done for the last week, not compared to what I've done for the last month. Which, when you put it that way, makes the very difficult just kind of seem like meh. Which is great. I know it's not as hard as everything else I've done, so it'll suck in the moment and then it'll be done. Well, good morning. Whoop. Perfect timing. We have 24 point something miles to do today. That is 1/4 of the rest of the trip, as we're sitting at like 96 total miles. That's a weird fun stat that Roach started pointing out. Like a week ago, every single day he'd be like, guys, we did 13% of the trail today, or 13% of the remainder of the trail today. This time it's 1/4. That's a lot. Included in that 24 miles is also every single mountain we have left, other than Katahdin, obviously. However, at the end of today, the last mountain we summit is called Whitecap. And if the views remain as clear as they are now, from the summit of Whitecap, we're gonna look over 50 miles of nothing and see Katahdin standing there, staring us in the face. So that's pretty neat. We stayed at Cloud Pond Lean-To last night. I showed up, and just got swarmed on mosquitoes. So I had to do what I've only done a handful of times the whole trip, pitch my tent. But it wasn't bad. We had a great spot right on the edge of this pond. We fell asleep to 200 bullfrogs chorusing us. It was cool. Then we had a thunderstorm at like 1 a.m. That was pretty cool. I don't know, just neat all around night. Whew. Arm's getting tired already. So I'll bring you back, as always. It's a plane crash. There's just stuff everywhere. Don't worry, everyone lived. I think that's where I'm heading. But first I have to go over and down there. Well, that wasn't pleasant to come down. No staying dry this time. Hard day so far. It is almost 5 o'clock. I've got like 7 and change miles left. I've been averaging like 2 miles an hour all day. It's hard. It's a really hard day, and I haven't seen anybody else yet. I took off first this morning, which means they're all still behind me, so. This is the last shelter before the 4 big peaks, the 4 last mountains of the trail other than Katahdin, so. I just wanted to sit down and take a break, and I don't know. Like, I know sitting here means that I'm going to be wearing a headlamp going into camp, but I'm tired, exhausted. Legs are sore, legs are tired. I just want to be done walking today. First summit, no views. We move on. There are blueberries everywhere. Like everywhere you look. Summit 2, 0 for 2. Number 3, we keep going. Now it's a race against time to see if we can get the only view that really matters on top of Mountain 4. Someone put a lot of work into these stairs. This is gorgeous. And it's a real shame the camera can't pick it up because I'm staring at Katahdin right here. What a day. And I'm gonna get to camp without having to use my headlamp. Today was a hard but good day. Good morning and welcome to Easy Street. We're about halfway through the 100-mile wilderness. I don't know, like 48 miles in or something like that. We don't have any more mountains to climb, except one. So it's just kind of cruisy for the next 60 miles, which is a really, really nice feeling. For reference, yesterday we did 7,000 feet of gain. Over the next 60 miles, there's a total of 6,000 feet of gain. So it's gonna be nice. Today we have to make it 15 miles by 2 o'clock to pick up our resupply from Shaw's. And then we've got like 8 more miles to hike after that, but who cares? It's all easy stuff. It's nice and relaxing. I looked back on the little video I got last night of Katahdin. You can make it out. I had to like pause the video and zoom in. Even then I had to know what I was looking for to make it out, but just know that I saw it, even if you guys couldn't. So that's it. We're gonna relax and cruise and just hope to have a nice day. I did not do a good job splitting up my food. All of the hard work for this section was in the first 2 days. And I split my food up kind of evenly. So I ate all of the first half of food. I'm hungry. And haven't anything to eat in like 3 hours, which sucks. But I'm picking up that second half of food in like 25 minutes. So that's good. It just hurts right now. Oh, and there's thunder. I'm not sure if you can hear that or not. Started hearing that about 15 minutes ago, so that's fun. I say can't really rain on my parade, but that will literally be rain. Holy crap, on my parade. I'm gonna get off here before I trip and die. Well, good morning. You know, there's something about waking up next to a lake that just puts you in a good mood for the day. That was not our original plan. We were gonna go like a mile and a half further, which is where I'm heading right now, because that's where a privy is and I need to use that. But we heard some other people we've been traveling with talk about this beach with a great camp spot, and I know I posted a picture of it right before this video. We had 8 of us posted up at this beach, and it was, oh, nope, 7 of us. I forgot, B-boy missed the turn. But yeah, it was a great spot and a really cool way to spend, you know, one of our last nights out here. Just everyone sitting around and reminiscing and just having a good time. 20 miles today. 20 miles of mostly flat. There's I think 2,000 total feet of gain today, which is next to nothing. And that's our last even semi-big day. We'll have a 15 and then a 9, and then we summit. Whew. Not a lot of views yesterday, unfortunately. That's kind of part of the downside of walking through this flat ground, 100-mile wilderness. So I'm realizing that this last video is going to be a lot more of me talking than it is me showing off cool views. So over the next couple of days, you're going to get a lot more introspection. So we got to see a better look at Katahdin a little bit ago. I posted or put a picture of it, I believe, shortly before this. And the weirdest thing happened. I was staring at this mountain. As I'm staring at it, I'm just thinking how huge it is. Like, it's just this giant mountain. And I pulled out my camera to get a picture. And I looked down at the camera, at my phone, and it didn't look very big. I looked back up at the mountain. I was like, it's huge. I looked back at my camera, it didn't look very big. And so then I just zoomed in a little bit, took the picture. So, I don't know. Maybe that picture doesn't represent visually what it looked like. But I'll tell you, it definitely visualizes, well, embodies what that mountain felt like I was looking at. If that makes any sense at all. That's a big mountain.
Against Mount McKay.
Is it bad of me to say that I hate when people call it that? No. It's really the smoke that we want, I guess.
Well, good morning. Today, I woke up by a beach again, which was lovely again. Tonight, I will be making it to Abol Bridge, the first stop on the trek to Katahdin. This will let me get up bright and early tomorrow to make sure I can get a spot at the Birches so that I can get up and summit Katahdin on Sunday. The Birches is is a problem that we're kind of avoiding and trying to discuss between amongst all of us, and it's going to be a mess. It's a campsite that is reserved for thru hikers. It very rarely fills up. Unfortunately, we have, I think, 14 people who are trying to summit on the 3rd. As of right now, there could be others that we don't even know about. And they only have spot for 12. So it's going to be a first come, first serve thing tomorrow morning, which kind of feels crappy because it's like we spent all this time making friends, and now 2 days ago, it gets a little cutthroat. We're like trying to plan around, making sure we can get there before anyone else, and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I hate it. I don't like the way it works. But yeah, today we're going to make the A-ball. I'm going to get some food. It's only 13 miles, and tomorrow's only 9. And then we summit. So, 27 miles left of hiking. You know, I hate that I promised you guys introspection, because I'm not going to live up to this very well. I try to think of the questions that you want to ask yourself on this trip, right? Like, did I get everything I wanted out of the trip? Yeah. I wanted to come out on a 5-month vacation, see some cool things, meet some cool people, and have a good time. And I did all of that. Did I learn anything about myself? I don't know. Part of me says, yeah, you can push yourself further than you thought you ever could, but at the same time, I never had a doubt in my mind that I was going to do this thing, so I don't really know. Maybe just a slight realization that I can have more confidence or capable of more confidence than I have. I don't know. Not really helpful. But I've loved it. I've truly loved every day. Maybe that's one of the ones I found. To the whole take joy in the little things. That was, I don't know, I like that one a lot. I mean, I know it's an obvious thing, but like, you overcome an obstacle, like just take a second to enjoy it. It makes your whole day so much better. Flies. I learned how much I hate flies, and got lucky with ticks. Only really ever the whole trip had 2 ticks even crawling on me, none latched. So I got real lucky there. Never had to dig a cat hole. I won that battle. Brown blaze successful. Yeah, that's kind of all I got for right now. Well, good morning. We just got done with our battle, signing up for the camp spot. We were the first 4 people there at 4 o'clock on the dot. By 4:28 a.m., there were 12 of us, which is the max they can put into this camp spot. So 4 o'clock was the right call. Today has been relaxing. After the 3:30 in the morning wake up to be at the kiosk by 4 o'clock to get our spot, we went back to our camp and hung out for like 2 hours, just laid back down, and then got up, packed up camp, resupplied. We walked for like an hour, took like another 2-hour break at a waterfall. And then we walked another hour and we're at another waterfall. We're just enjoying ourselves.
Oh yeah, I was gonna start.
Well, good morning. For the last time from the Appalachian Trail. It is summit day. And we got a 5 a.m. start. This is probably going to be the last time I talk to the camera, as I'm going to spend this last day just enjoying myself with my friends. So, not going to be a lot of talk, but I'll be sure to show you everything cool that happens.
Squirrels are more mad.
Oh, it is. The adventure's not over just because we saw a sign. We still got a gnarly hill to go down, and then a town day. Follow the blue blazes now. There you go, just up this face. Yep, there too. All right, well, we're done with the hard part of the descent. It's just cruise on down to the parking lot at this point. Didn't have the emotional response that everyone talks about having when they see the sign and finishing their hike and everyone gets all teary-eyed and stuff. That didn't happen really to any of us. We kind of laughed about it and discussed it. And I think it's going to be more when we're saying goodbye to one another that we're going to, you know, it's really going to be over at that point. Because right now, we're still hanging out. But that is going to be for my memory books, not for the video. This is the end of the video, the whole video series. And once again, I'm just glad I could bring y'all some entertainment. Glad you guys enjoyed following along. Mom, Dad, Grandma. I'll be honest, I probably would have quit doing this pretty early if I hadn't known how much you guys enjoyed it. So, not the trail. Would never have quit that. The recording and uploading and blah, blah, blah. But I did it, and now I have this cool video journal, basically, of my trip, which works out really, really well for me. And again, you guys all got to enjoy it, so that's awesome. Thank you again for watching. Thank you everyone who has reached out over this past 5 months and told me they were proud or congratulated me or told me that they wanted to do something similar. Gotten a whole bunch, and I'm just really appreciative of all the positivity that's come out of this. So again, thank you guys, and maybe I'll see you in another adventure.